Hi. People are oblivious for the most part of understanding any other concept besides what happens when you are put through processes. These processes you go through, this is controlling aspects, this is submitting aspects, this is this is you basically just going along with the bandwagon over and over and over and over and over. This is being beat down. Some people call it buck breaking in some aspect. Every piece of knowledge that's given to you was a buck breaking individual way of you looking at it. And then it came around to where you were free to go look at the bull crap we put out for yourself. Subsequently, there's always going to be a piece of energy inlaid inside of writings that does not speak to the value of the words. This is what we call truth. The energy that pulls out of the writings. This is what we call truth. We have to get away from the literal analytical control aspects of life. We don't know what we talking to. I've shown over a long time ago, and I hear a lot of people saying them now, some of the words that I would throw out that the controlling aspect put out and said, this is what these things are. And then when you re-engineer these processes, find out where they came from, you find out where they heard it from, had nothing to do with what they was talking about. How many other processes is like that we deal with today? And we want to believe that the knowledge that was taken, destroyed, replicated, remastered, and put back out represents the same energy value that spoke to the higher spirituality aspect. Divine will never make mistakes. People do. And what people do is they mess it up so much to where right now y'all fighting over somebody else's way of laying it out. Period. People sit out there and they hold these dogmatic ways of talking. They like, oh, this and oh, that. Look, that's cool. That's cool. Divine knows your heart. And your heart can be, it's like if I look at a baby, the baby might not know me, but the heart, you know what I'm saying, shows the innocence. So I might give you some understanding. But in that same retrospect, how much are you knowing? Because that's basically gonna place you at where you need to be as far as understanding this energy. And that's what they call a recycle. You're gonna go back in to learn the true depths of this knowledge, the truth of this understanding. But you'll be doing that here. Because there is a job to do here. And people say serve divine. What does that mean for you? What is that? What is service? It has nothing to do with the system. It doesn't. The system is what puts people through the walk away from light. The system allows you to walk away from the light. That is not the fight of the divine. The fight of the divine is getting you to realize the essence that's in you. Even though you forgot the higher levels that you might have been on other light frequencies, you might have forgot that, the information, who you was in different light points through your history. In the same breath, that doesn't make it like it's not there. You're just here at this point without that information, but you still have the essence. So if you want to gain that, right? Or go, and you know what's crazy? I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, each level creates a new level for divine, and they end up getting that energy built up over a period of time. So would it say that you're stronger to go back towards the divine or stronger to go forward for the divine? See, people are afraid. They're afraid to have this real conversation because one can become divine. And it's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? One can become divine. And that'll be the next transition to another output that keeps replicating for eons and forever. Whether or not we know it, unbeknownst to us, the actual particular increment that we are in this understanding of divine energy, this placement in existence where we are in divine energy, because that's all it is ultimately. Good, bad, and indifferent is still divine energy. And no matter how it affects you, it affects you in these different ways according to how you look at these circumstances, according to how you comprehend these circumstances. That's why it's going to affect you a certain way. And I want to speak to my lighter counterparts out there in the world that feel like you devils and all that, and you feel like, and look, yeah, y'all did a lot of dirt, but that means the light scale for you is just way down there. That means you was just that far away from the light source, the warmth, the understand what warmth is. When you get a hug from somebody and somebody truly hug you and they love you, and you feel that deep and they hug you and they truly love you unconditionally, it's like getting the warmth from the sun. When somebody truly put unconditional love and time into you, it's like getting love from the divine. These differences separate the value of how close you are to the light. If I carry that level of light in me, I almost can give that love to myself. You see what I'm saying? And the farther I get closer to the light, the more I can start giving that love off of myself for others as a light source. If I'm farther away from the source energy, it's gonna make me hard. It's gonna make it harder for me to shine that particular value of light. So what I start to love down here is gonna start being different. It's probably gonna be the things I feed off, which is everything around me, cold, hard, rocks. Like, cause that's how far you are. And keep in mind, that motion that is the gravity that it has is still attached to the source, no matter how far it's out. So it has to realize that that is not its reality, even though that reality is so harsh. And see, whether you know it or not, somebody might have told y'all, like, you know what, they're right. They are the closest. They are divine children. They might not have never said it to you like this. They're closer to divine than you are. They're not said that. They said they were the divine children. And they set this into motion because they want everybody to feel indifferent. There are particular energies that are here that still tether to a closer source of energy that came down here. So that means they stretched out their light source from where they was charging at to come here to do work. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the value. That's because the scales can tip all the way over. You know what I'm saying? The hourglass can run all the way out. And now you got a bunch of energy running around here that nobody don't know what to do with. People can't absorb. It's just sitting around here. Everybody's still talking about the same bull crap that these people told them to talk about. People over here running behind this indoctrination that these people forced them, and you still not absorbing this light. It's just sitting around you. You're getting pieces of it. When you might hit off into a daydream. You're like, yo, what was that? That was divine. No, it was the energy. It was trying to wake you up for a long time. Divine don't work on nobody individually. Not divine. Now the entities in between that may have some, you know what I'm saying, some retrospect to that value. But ultimately, what you have to understand is the consciousness of pure energy as in divine does not have to make a direct motion for anything. It just is. So it's like, as soon as you connect to is, everything is. You understand what I'm saying? If you reach and you can connect that far into source, then everything for you is. You know what I mean? If you getting in between that, those are light refractions in between that you hitting while you reaching. This is why meditation constantly is important. That's why they say prayer constantly is important, because the further you pray that vibration, the further your light source is reaching back to source. Your personal light source, because it's given to you from the divine, it's like you boomeranging it at that point. You get it, and you sending it back through prayer. You're sending it back through meditation. You're sending it back through focusing. You're sending it back through whatever value that it makes you silent and away from the world. I'm serious. When you can still yourself like a tree, that's when you connect. That's why they tell you to ground your feet. Look, I ain't going to hold you. Just a jewel right here. Think about, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to make nobody think about nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at it for what it is, because divine is not controlling at all. Doesn't have no direction towards any wordplay that man deals with. Now, there's entities in between that. A whole bunch. Light points be my history. Manifest and bringing back everything that's meant for me. My infantry. You don't even know who on my spirit team. I keep it lean. Move through the air like the smoke ahead. Pick it out. Let it go. Black fist in the afro. NAGA.